entrepreneurship is the hard route.
It is.
Entrepreneurship is the hard route.
People think, like that, like let's leave my 9 to 5 and let's just go after this. It's going to be easier. It's hard.
It's hard work.
It's harder because
it pays off the most.
You are starting something that is not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
You are building something that does not exist yet. When you're in a 9 to 5 or whatever job you're working at, you already are working for somebody that already built that thing. And so it's like you're starting something new. So this is definitely encouraging me a lot. And I love that you guys can be behind the scenes and just to see what it even looks like to process things. Like this podcast is nothing but vulnerability and just being us.
Yeah.
And I pray and I hope that the people that come on this podcast, they feel the same way.
Hello, and welcome back. We are officially BACK back.
BACK.
Welcome back, family, friends, everybody who has been listening and keeping up with us on social media. We are officially back. We took a long break, probably about a year. It's been about a year. It's been almost a year.
You think so?
Yeah, it's been almost a year.
No.
I'll have to see when we started.
It was 2 weeks before we moved out. And that was in August.
But the break was a little long, no?
The break was long.
Yeah, the break.
But it wasn't a year. We'll update you guys on exactly how long it was. We're not sitting here talking about that.
We'll find out how long it was. But we have been moving. We have been doing a lot of life things. Life has been going on. We have been great so far. We've moved into a house. Last time we talked to you guys and gave you guys an update, we're moving into a home, our very first home that we're moving into from an apartment. And it's been nothing but great.
Yeah.
It's been nothing but great. We've been loving it. It's away from the city. It's quiet. We have no backyard neighbor, no one behind us. It's been great. But this episode, we're kind of just going to dive into what we've been doing, what we're going to be expecting in this new year, what we're going to be expecting in this new season of the podcast. So it's going to be a great time. Going to be about 30 minutes. But just to keep you guys informed, this is going to be season 2. This is the very first episode of season 2. So welcome. Also, welcome to the new studio. This is the new setup. I have been working very hard on this. A lot of time has went into this studio, a lot of thought, and it's still not completely done. But for the most part, this is going to be how it looks. And I'm very excited and happy with how it has gone.
Yeah, it looks so good. I was about to stop you in your tracks and be like, hold on a second. Let's just take this in. Do y'all see this? A whole new atmosphere. And I don't know if they can see the whole thing. Can they?
They can see this corner right here.
Yeah, kind of. But we have like a whole futon right here, a whole couch, 2 chairs. So that means we'll have guests, as we told you guys, guests for the next season, for this season. Now that we're on season 2. So pretty pumped for that.
I'm very, very excited about it. Season 2 is going to be, we're going to try to do nothing but interviews, but we're going to see how that goes. But
yeah. I mean, we can always throw in one of these here and there.
Or all guys, all girls episodes and get some of the homies to come over.
For sure.
And I think that's going to be cool. I've been thinking about that too. Like if we have blank weeks, we'll just be like, let's just hop on, like bring the homies over. We'll have like all guys episode or all women's episode. Y'all can talk about whatever.
Even multiple of those. I already have like a client that I would love to bring on here because she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. She would definitely help a lot of women.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, just to kind of dive into a little bit of what we've been doing. We've really just been building up her business. Original Me Beauty has still been going in and it's going strong. That we've been loving that. That's been picking up a lot. I've been at my same job that I was working at last time you guys heard from us. And that's, it's a job. It's a corporate world. It has its ups and downs. The hour drive is what kills me. But the job itself is not too stressful. So it's doing pretty well, but we have that going on. Well,
I'm currently at a country club called Shady Oaks. It's super part-time. I just do event serving. I set up the event. I tear down the event. I help serve the event. It's really cool. I'm learning a lot of cool little things that I wouldn't know if I wasn't there, and who knows what that can carry on into in other areas of my life. And I can already see it, and so I'm really thankful for that place. I don't necessarily see myself staying there too long. There's sometimes you're in a place for a season, but I will be there until I feel like I'm not supposed to be anymore. But yeah, it's just super part-time. I enjoy it. It's a very beautiful place to be at. It's a blessing for sure.
I think for what you do, like how many hours you're there and how much work you do, I think it's definitely a really good job. But if you feel like you need to go, I'm not stopping you.
Well,
But
sometimes, if you guys been following along, I absolutely love kids, and I just think eventually I would love to do something that is more fulfilling.
I just remember you being always drained being around kids, though.
Well, it has its ups and downs. It just depends on what I'm doing with kids. Like, I would love to help kids in their trauma, and it doesn't mean that's something I want to do full time. It's just something that I want to do here and there, even if it's just like helping. Like, I don't have to like make it a whole thing, a whole job. It's just little stuff. So I'm definitely in the beauty world, the beauty business world, the hair, the modeling. Like, that's what I'm doing. But I want to reach people, and I want to help people in other areas too. So really whatever I fall into in the future, I don't see myself being there forever. But any job we have, sometimes, like even sometimes when I'm modeling, like today I was modeling 9 to 12, and I was just changing clothes, literally from 9 to 12, like no breaks unless I need to go to the bathroom. I'm just changing outfits, and it can get exhausting.
I've experienced it.
Yeah, and especially it's not like a new scenery. Like, this is something I've been doing for a while now, the same company. So it's not like a new modeling job and something new opportunity. So I have to keep myself continuing with a good fire, like a good mindset towards it, like a fresh fire in it. Because I was telling myself, like, why do I feel like right now? I'm like, I'm getting to do something that I love to do. Like, what's going on? Well, it's not anything new. It's the same thing I've been doing. But like we were talking earlier, it's a privilege to work. It's a privilege to do anything. Even if you're in a job that you fully don't want to be in, it's still a privilege to be there. We're meant to do anything and everything. So
yeah. Well, going into this kind of deep conversation, I wanted to come on this episode, and I really wanted to just kind of give a peek into how our life has been lately, not just on the outside of what we've been doing with our jobs and stuff, but also spiritually, mentally, emotionally, anything in that field. Like, I just want to let people know where we've been, and how much we've grown, if we've grown at all.
Yeah, I think we have.
For sure. But just to give a little peek of that, and if you want to open up, what do you feel like? What areas do you feel like you've grown in the most over this break of the podcast? If you want to start with spiritual, you could start with spiritual or emotional. It's up to you. But I kind of just want to get a little peek into your world. Where do you feel like you've grown the most, and where do you feel like you've noticed the most growth?
That's a pretty deep question to just put on the spot like that, babe.
The spotlight is on you.
All right, that's fine. Man, what's the first question?
Just where do you feel like you've grown? You can answer it any way you want.
Yeah. Where if I feel like I've grown? I tend to naturally look at what I'm going through. So it's kind of cool to switch to the mindset of where have I grown? It's actually interesting too, because I haven't really went back and rewatched episodes in a long time. So
Same, yeah.
I feel like I would be able to answer this question a little better. I definitely feel like I've gained a better grip on my identity and who I am. I definitely think that. And I think it'll be continuous growth because we're always changing. But I do know that I've been in a season of discovery. I'm 24, going on to 25 in May. And I just think this age is very interesting because you're not just graduated and you're really excited for adulthood and then you like move in and stuff. This is just like, we're in our mid-20s now. We're married. We're doing this thing. It's not.
We're in it.
oh my gosh, I have something in mind, but we are in it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember we were watching like football or something. Yeah, we were watching football and you're like, that dude is my age, like on NFL. I was like, babe, like,
yeah, bro, you aged me so hard. I felt so
I was
old when you
like,
said
you're
that.
25. Like, that's normal.
I really felt so old. Like, it really hit me. Like, I almost had like an epiphany moment. Like, oh my gosh, I'm
Like, yeah.
25.
Yeah.
I'm actually 25.
Sometimes I still like hold on to a little bit to high school here and there. I'm just like thinking that it was so far. It's so far ago.
Yeah,
it was so far ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was right grammar, but it was so far ago. It is.
It was so long ago.
It was so long
You could say
ago. There
that.
you go. I'm like trying different things. I'm like, what's right? What's wrong? But yeah, that and emotionally, I don't really know. I need some time to think on that. But if
Okay,
you have something
that's
to
fine.
think, like, go ahead. Let's
Yeah,
hear you.
it's really funny that you say that, because that's what, like, thinking about this episode, I knew that was one of the questions that I just wanted to put out here on the podcast. Just like where I've been and how much I've grown, how much I feel like I've grown. And one of those is that I just feel a little more comfortable with my personal identity, like who I am personally. I feel I've gotten to get more of a grip of who I am as a person. Got to know myself on how I think, how I operate, how I take things in, and also just loosen the reins on life a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've learned just to kind of relax a little bit, and even at the same time with like work and how stressful that can be and getting this started and all this stuff, it can be stressful, but at the same time I've learned that it's not that serious.
Yeah.
You know, like I've learned to just let loose a little bit. We've been out hanging out with friends so much more, which I love, you know, and I think you helped me a lot with going out and doing community, because if it was up to me and I'm by myself, bro, I'm just staying home. I'm just staying home. I don't need to talk to nobody. I don't need nobody. And I think just knowing you over the years and our relationship has really showed me how to talk to people like that, because you're more social than I am, at least. I wouldn't say you're like, oh, social butterfly. You know, you do talk a lot more than I do, but you're also at the same time.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. Like, yeah, don't get it twisted. Like,
you could stay quiet as well.
Literally at Shady Oaks, I remember we fold that. You know, we had to fold the linen and make it all fancy. Like for the holiday season, we made the linen napkins into trees. I thought that was the coolest thing. But there was like some other people. They weren't the banquet servers. I think it was like a server for the country club. She was like coming to help, and we were all folding napkins. Oh no, it was during Halloween. We were like making a Halloween candy land for the kids. It was crazy. But she like mentioned something about how I'm quiet or something like that. Really? And I was like, yeah, you don't really know me. Like, you know, I can definitely talk, but if I have nothing to say, like I have nothing to say. I couldn't relate with the things they were talking about. Yeah. They all know each other. Like I have nothing to say, so I come off quiet, but because I'm not the type to just like put myself in the middle of, you know, the attention. Like I don't want attention like that. Like I'm not just like, here I am, like, hello, here I am. I'm more just like, if I have something to say, I have something to say. If not, I'm just going to stand here, maybe with a smile, maybe with a straight face, because I'm in my head. But I will say, like, I've noticed that have grown in not being so caught up in my inner conflict and my inner world as much.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've definitely noticed the difference of that.
It's very encouraging. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Because sometimes like I think we all can get in our heads.
For sure. Yeah.
Maybe some people more than others, but I would say I've grown some levels in that area where the world does not revolve around me. And if I'm stuck in my inner world and my inner conflict between me, myself, and I, or whatever, you know, I'm going through my mind, I'm missing out what's in front of me, what these other people are going through, like how I can be a light in those moments, or how I can just be a peace in that moment. I really feel like I do have a peace on my life. I mean, obviously that comes from God, but like I am a place of peace for people. There's something different on my life. It's light, it's free. And if I don't even always have to say anything, it's just the way you carry yourself. So if I'm standing there and I look like I'm upset and I'm in my head, I'm not walking in what I'm supposed to be walking in. So I definitely agree with that.
That's really cool.
Agree with what? I don't know.
I don't, what did I say for you to entice what you just said? I don't know.
You didn't say anything. I just said I agreed with that out of
I know,
nowhere.
but I was saying if there was anything for you to agree with, but there probably wasn't.
You were about to talk, and I just said it. I was already agreeing with what you were about to say.
Well, I agree with you.
Thanks.
I agree that, yes, I definitely feel like you've gotten more of a calmness to you. Just how you are out and about. And I'm like that as well. You know, I like my actions to speak a lot louder than my words do. You know, I'm gonna show you how I act before I speak on how I act any day of the week. You know, and I'm gonna show people how I am before I tell people how I am.
Yeah, you do. You definitely do that.
Yeah.
So it's another thing you feel like you've either spiritually, emotionally, or I would say your boxing gym's a really cool thing that you.
Yeah.
That's a big change in your life.
You could say physically, I mean, mentally and physically, really, like working out and training that hard has been a crazy 360 turnaround on just a lot of things. I don't know. I couldn't even put it into words how much it helps, because it just helps so much. And just to let you guys in, I've been going to the boxing gym that's like 3 minutes down our street, and I was really wanting to get into boxing, but even before we moved, you remember that? I started even training and running before we started moving. Yeah. And when we finally signed the lease, I looked up this boxing gym that I really wanted to go to called Reyes Boxing, and it was 3 minutes from our street, from our house. 3
minutes.
3 minutes from our house. So I've been going to Reyes Boxing for 3 or 4 months now, pretty consistently, and it's been amazing. It's just been so great. It's something that's a passion of mine. I did it when I was growing up. My dad boxed when he was younger, and trained me, my brother, and my cousins up. So it's just been something that's been around in my life, and I really enjoy getting back into it now. It just feels so homey. It feels so right to do. It's something that I can't get out of my head. It's just like one of those things that you feel.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that, and mentally, amazing. You know, when I come home from work, I'm just like, all right, what do you want to do? Like, let's go do stuff.
Know,
like, I'm so happy. Got so many endorphins running through my body. It's amazing. Just sweating that hard and so much.
So that may be your sign to get into working out.
Absolutely. If you are looking for like somewhere to work out, dude, go to a boxing gym or any type of like physical contact sport. Go check that out, because it's amazing. Even just getting that kind of competition with other people, it's good. It's good mentally. It's good for your just body, just overall health. But I think I've grown in that area mentally, obviously physically, grown in that area. But mentally, I think I'm able to just, what is the word? Consume my thoughts a little easier. I can eat them a little better. I can digest them a little better and put them through wherever they need to go, you know, easier. Find the avenues where they need to go. I don't know. Find what routes they need to go to. I don't know. I'm just trying to find like a sophisticated word, but that's really what it is. I just have an easier way of putting my thoughts. And especially when I work out, it's a lot easier to do that. Yeah. But I definitely have grown in that way. Also, I wanted to just kind of talk about a little bit like what God has been speaking to us over this break, or what you feel like one thing at least God has shown you over this break that for your future or for us, you know. And obviously I'm talking about like where we've grown, but obviously we've grown together as a couple, which is fantastic. You know, we've obviously been chipping away at things and growing in areas that we need to with our communication and just how we are as a couple. But yeah, just to divert away from the growth conversation, going into what God has spoken to us. I think one thing that has really been glorified as a thought in my life, or as an idea in my life, is the idea of creativity, the gift of creativity in my life. I think that has really been shown to me. God has spoken to that to me over and over again, especially in the mornings I go to work. He just reminds me so many times of my purpose, what I'm supposed to be doing with my gifts. And it's definitely not this corporate job. Absolutely. But this, where I'm at right now with my job, it's where I'm supposed to be. You know, it's getting us where we need to be. It pays great. It's a good job for now. And it's teaching me the things that I need later down the road, like you always tell me and remind me. But creativity is something that is going to be the thing that I chase the most outside of work. after work, later down the road in years to come, when we have our own businesses and we're being entrepreneurs, creativity is going to be at the core of that. And God has made that very clear. I'm going to have a very big part with creativity with whatever that we do.
Yeah. That's so cool. I love that. Definitely creativity is on your life. Like just the way you think, the way you go about things, like you are literally a creative.
Yeah.
In your own
There's
way.
different creatives.
Yeah. No human being is the same human. Like there's nobody like you out there. There's nobody like me. Like nobody can be me. Nobody can be you. The way we think, the way we are, the way we do things, our fingerprints, like everything is different and nobody can be you. So I think that's so awesome. As you were speaking, I'm just noticing like the potential. I think I'm just hearing like potential for the new year coming. Like I'm going to be able to see the potential that I have, because God gives us the ability to do things well. God gives us the ability to do whatever we're doing. We can't do it without him. We can't do it well without him. And because like if we do it without him, then we're going to get burnt out. Mm-hmm. We're going to get discouraged. And it doesn't mean we're not going to get discouraged, but we're going to get burnt out and want to quit. Can't tell you how many times I've recently wanted to just throw in the towel, quit social media. That's a big one. Quit social media. And sometimes my business could be really tough, but it's just a moment and then I get through it and then I'm back on fire. But I would say the biggest thing right now is social media. I still get in my head sometimes. I'm like, are these thoughts even worth it? Is this even worth my time? But if I go back to like my why, I even think like, do I even need social media? Like, do I really need it? But if I make it about me, I'm going to start having these thoughts. Yeah. If I make it about people and the people that I can reach or even come across in real life, the people that can come to my chair or come to our dreams and, visions that we have for like a creative space one day, those people are going to come across our social media. So like it's a huge outreach. So if I stop making it about me and more about the other people, then that's what keeps me going. Yeah. The moment that I start thinking about other people, I'm like, I need to do this. I don't know why, but I do. This is where the world is going. This is where the world is. I would love to just close it all up and be behind the scenes and just be home and work on the things we need to work on, and reach people in person. But unfortunately, social media is mainly where the world is going.
Well, I wouldn't say unfortunately. I would say fortunately.
Fortunately,
that's where all the world is. That's where you can reach the world. Yeah.
So God is just showing me my potential that I have. Potential because there's so many things that I love to do that's creative, and it can be very overwhelming sometimes, but I think if I continue to just lay it all down and just work on one thing at a time, then I can see how far I can get in that one space, like my business and in modeling. And that's really my focus right now. And I know the other things will come, but right now that's my focus. That's where I feel I need to be. And if there's a season where one door closes and another door opens for a little bit, that's fine. My identity isn't in modeling and my identity isn't in my hair business. Like those are skills, those are talents. It's a natural ability that I have and I can do it.
Yeah. Right now you're really in a season of taking a deep dive to find your true potential. You're really in a discovery trip right now.
That's what it feels like.
Just finding out what you're capable of. Just finding out how far you can be stretched, where your stuff is going to go. Your social media, your business. I mean, you're in it. Like if anyone between both of us, you're in it. Like you're in your business, you're in the social media, you're in the building of it. You're like actually in it. So you're in the process of seeing your potential and seeing how far you can actually go go up. And it's going to be a great outcome if you just keep going. The lens checks that you feel, it's completely human. Like we all have that. Like I had that Wednesday coming back to work. Like I was like, why am I going to a job? Like this is horrible. I'm driving an hour every day and I feel like I have the shortest end of the stick out of anybody at my company. But I just had to have a lens check. You gave me a reminder, which you always do. You always remind me of like what I'm doing, my purpose of going to this job, and it's temporary, of just encouraging me to keep going. And I love you for that. It's awesome to hear that. It's not all the time that I always want to hear it. Like I'll read it, I'm just like, get out of here, dude.
Oh,
not you, just like the thought. But even like talking to some of the dudes like Tristan and Anthony, the group chat, I'm telling them like, well, I'm at this job, like I just want to like get out of here, and they're telling me like it's God's provision, you know, like just pray for another job if you want to get somewhere else. I'm just like, bro, just get out of here. It's not what I want to hear. Agree with me.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge, it's a journey. You know, it's gonna be entrepreneurship is the hard route.
It is.
Entrepreneurship is the hard route.
People think, you know, like that, like let's leave my 9 to 5 and let's just go after this. It's going to be easier. It's hard.
It's hard work.
It's harder because
it pays off the most.
You are starting something that is not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
You are building something that does not exist yet. When you're in a 9 to 5 or whatever job you're working at, you already are working for somebody that already built that thing. And so it's like you're starting something new. So this is definitely encouraging me a lot. And I love that you guys can be behind the scenes and just to see what it even looks like to process things. Like this podcast is nothing but vulnerability and just being us. Yeah. And I pray and I hope that the people that come on this podcast, they feel the same way, that it is nothing but vulnerability and them just being them and you hearing their stuff. Because I think in the vulnerability and inviting you guys in our weaknesses and what's going on behind the scenes is what's going to get you guys to feel connected to us through a camera and through a microphone, and also how it's going to help carry in your life and whatever you're going through. And so I strongly believe that, because we're here to encourage each other. And
it's really a big point of the podcast. Building community, building encouragement. Let's keep going. We can keep going strong. You know, you don't have to do it alone. There's other people like you. If you know, we want to attract the people that think the same as us, or have some kind of the same qualities, or maybe one of the people that we bring on is going to have a very similar story to somebody else. We're here to let people know, like, you're not alone. Yeah. You know, like there's other people out here. You know, like, come on, let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, is there anything else you want to add on to this conversation that we are having right now?
Well, I also just wanted to have a little bit of a topic, or talk about a topic of the new year. You know, we're going into the new year of 2024. Obviously, we want to have some kind of goals to achieve. We want to have some type of idea of where we're headed, some kind of roadmap. So do you have anything off the top of your head that you would want to accomplish, or that you want to get on the books, that you want to start running towards?
Yeah.
Could be with your business, personal, podcast, relationship with God, like anything. Yeah.
It's really cool that you're asking this on here, because I'll be completely honest on here. Like, I have not really sat down and wrote down anything. It's really just been in my head. So I like that I get to process right now. It's pretty dope. I would say, if you guys have been listening this to the beginning, please just shut up, okay? Because you're just okay. Anyways, let me just say what I'm gonna say. I want to get up early.
Oh, there it is again. We've been hearing that one for a while. I'm pretty sure I can find an episode where you said that too.
Yeah, probably multiple episodes. Well, back then when we were making this, I had to get up early to take you to work and drive the hour. Well, now there is nothing causing me, or there's nothing making me get up early, unless I have to, be in Dallas by 9, then I need to get up at like 7. But I'm talking about earlier than that. Like, I want to wake up at 4:45 or 5, because you got
to choose one.
Well, it's like in between, like I'm
4:45 or 5. You might as well just say 5.
Well, I'm thinking about you, because you have to get up. You have to leave the house at 5:15.
Yeah, I leave about 5:15, 5:20.
So I'm thinking about setting my alarm at 4:45 because it gives me a few minutes to be like, like, I don't want to get up, but I gotta get up, So when I know that's getting closer to 5, I'm like, oh, he lives in 15 minutes. Like, that's going to get me to get up. I can be up, a little alert, just kind of getting the coffee going or something. Is be able to see you and really just see, like, because I know you don't usually eat breakfast in the morning. So that could kind of be my why, is just to see you and like help serve you in the mornings. I know like once we have a kid, like that's going to completely change, but there's nothing really causing me to want to get up right now. I do have a desire, like I want to go to the gym, and I have a gym membership now.
You've been going.
I've been going to the gym, but it's random.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have, that's the other thing, to go back to the potential thing, like to see how much potential I have and to get stretched, I have to have structure. And you guys know, like that is just not a strong suit that I have. And so I have to really get myself here.
I don't think that's anyone's strong suit.
Some people are pretty good having structure.
Scheduling your days, I've yet to meet one person that is absolutely fantastic at scheduling their days.
Maybe routines. Sometimes people are good with routines.
But scheduling your day is a different story.
Yeah. So I feel like if I have the same day, same time that I wake up every day, like that would help me start. I can see how much potential I have in a day to do the things. Like it's not even just like ambition and working towards stuff that I want to do. It's also like taking care of my well-being and having just, me time and time with God and do all the things I love to do. Like I would say like more of my hippie side, if you want to say that, but it's really just tapping into just taking care of myself, doing my red light therapy, getting on my acupuncture mat, doing my breathing exercises, getting sunlight, taking Ava to the park. Like there's so much I want to do in a day that I need to get up at this time. And honestly, if I'm going to be real with you guys, and you know this, I have been going through a season recently of just there's nothing motivating me to get up. Like I have been really just not wanting to get up. Like I will literally just lay in bed. But I'm up by like 8:30, but like I don't have this joy in the morning. And I know the Lord says in the word, and God says in the word, that joy comes new every morning. Right? Isn't that what it says? Mm-hmm. Joy comes new every morning. Comes in the morning. I did recently hear this. I don't know if it was a song or if it was somebody preaching. I don't remember, but I heard it and it stuck with me. It said that God is the joy that I need. And I was like, okay, like the joy really does come from him. Like I can't seek anything in this world. There's no purpose. There's no anything in this world that's going to give me that joy and that motivation. Like it really ultimately has to come from his love and what he has in store in that day. And that should excite me because it's mysterious. It's new. It's a love that we can't explain. Like why do we have sometimes a hard time to tap into that? Because like we wake up and it's in the natural. It's in the.
I hear what you're saying. I just feel like, I don't know. I wouldn't totally agree with that.
Agree with what?
Like that I should wake up and find joy in like in just God alone. Like just God woke me up, so I'm joyful. Yes, you can do that, and you can psych yourself out to think like, yes, I'm joyful because God woke me up. Thankful that God gave me life, and absolutely, like I wake up every morning. God, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for giving me life. But really what gets me going is what God has put on my life, what God is going to do through my life in this day. I'm going to be a step closer towards what God's calling me to do in my life from this day. I'm going to be doing the things that God has put on my life through God, and I'm going to be accomplishing those gifts today. Like this is something that drives me. This is something that's on my life. This is something that is, it's bigger than just I'm finding joy in God. How I see it is I'm finding joy in what God has placed on my life. Mm-hmm. I'm finding joy in what God is going to do through my life. Like I'm going to be able to do these things through God because of what he's put in my life. And that makes me going. Like the creativity that God has put on my life, what can I come up with today? That's how I'm thinking.
So like now that you have that grip of the creativity, you're like God has shown you like this is what was it? Like God has shown you about how you're creative, like the way you think, how you process. Like it almost seems like you're just putting you in a category, but it's not necessarily like that.
No.
It's just like a way of being like, okay, God, you're showing me how I think and how I process, and it's in a creative way, and that's super cool. And I love that you really, I've been using this word a lot during this episode, but fire, like you have had a new fire in that area of knowing who you are. And I can see how that can get you excited in the morning. And, I appreciate you just like being real in this moment, be like, hey, I don't agree with that, because it's helping me, because obviously that is not getting me fully to the place that I need to get, because we aren't in heaven where it's just like, oh God, oh, we're here to do stuff. God has called us here we are here on a mission. We're supposed to be on a mission here. And I think it's a journey, and it's lots of different processing stuff.
Yeah.
And definitely have a mindset that I think it will start with you just knowing who you are.
Yeah.
And
and
the potential in your life.
Yeah. That's really what it is.
And also believing it and not having doubt.
Yeah.
And you have to love yourself.
Yeah.
Because God created you.
Well, for 2024, for me, just to kind of give a little recap of what I want to walk into, I definitely want to walk into pursuing my own business. I want to see that come to fruition. I want to see it come to fruition. I want to see it actually start creating revenue. And I want to start taking steps towards getting out of my W-2, because that is my next important thing that I want to do. Like that is very, very important to me, is getting out of a W-2, because I don't want to be a slave to anybody else. I don't want to stress over a job to make somebody else money. I'd rather point that stress, if I'm going to be stressing about something, I'd rather stress about making income and legacy for myself or for us. I'd rather have stress in my life besides stressing for somebody else's life. So I want to see that come to fruition. Definitely want to have a kid this year. Absolutely. That's something we want to do, is start a family. I want to see this podcast grow. I definitely want to see that. And eventually one day, I don't really have a timeline for it, but I would love to make money from this podcast. Start having this podcast make revenue. I think that would be great. But just relationship wise with God, we definitely want to keep advocating myself and obeying to what God has put in my life, and just putting myself in the right place, not being above anything, not being too prideful to accept anything or hear anything. I want to keep myself in the position that I'm called to be in. Also, like with prison ministry, I think that's going to teach a lot of humility, and just kind of like a wake up call of where we are in life, like how spoiled we are and how much stuff we actually have and what we take for granted. So as we go into like the season of prison ministry as well, it's something that we'll talk about more and more on the podcast, but I want that to be kind of like a wake up call as well as we go on with the new year, and let that be kind of a catapult to how we want to be, where we want to be in life.
Yeah, I love that. I really see this new year. I see us stepping into multiple areas of ministry. Not just like us going out there and all this, but I definitely say prison ministry is a big one. We have our podcast, and it's just going to be good community and talking and hanging out with people. That's another area. Another area is also just like our Bible studies with our friends and stuff. So that's like we're getting poured into as we're pouring out. And I just see that. And then we also, we have like little things like that going on. And I just see this year, our cups are going to be so filled. It makes me a little emotional thinking about it, but I just can see our cups being so filled because we are dedicating our time to put ourselves out there like that.
We're making sacrifices to do ministry.
And it's not going to be so much like chill time. You know, we love to chill and watch our Netflix, and we're watching we're watching Prison Break right now. Highly recommend Prison Break. So good.
It's an old show.
It's so good though. So good. But I just see this year, it's just going to be very filling. And to just talk on that real quick, to add on to what you asked me, in this new year, I want to give more than what I consume. I know that I am going to consume things because we have to get our cups filled, but it's more materialistic things. I'm not I don't shop crazy, but I don't even really want the like thought of it right now. Like that's just not my, there's something bad with it. I just have my own inner stuff going on in this area. I want to just give more. I want to like, maybe before I think about buying something first, I can be like, when was the last time I gave something to somebody? Like check myself real quick.
Hey, I'm on board with the no shopping thing.
I don't even shop all like that, but I definitely want to give more this year, whether it's tipping wise, whether it's like, I want to have the mindset and the heart of generosity more this year for sure. And that can also be in my time as well. And it doesn't even have to be money wise. It could just be my time. It could be, I just see it being like that. But
yeah, that's awesome. That's a really good point. But this was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
This was a really good first episode. I don't know why we're staying here.
We're staying right there.
But this was awesome.
I feel like I was Robert churling a little bit.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. We're here to welcome you guys back. If you guys are still listening at the end of this, then we know that you really love us. You really care about us because we're just kind of rambling about stuff. But this is officially welcome back to season 2. The High V podcast is officially back. The podcast for the creative, the outside thinker, and the believer.
We should have thought ahead of time for this because I could have like got all excited.
It's all right.
It's fine.
But thank you guys for sticking in there. And if this is your first time listening to our podcast, welcome. Welcome to this journey that we're going on. This is not the start, but the restart of a ministry that we're building. And we've prayed over this. We've put a lot of thought and willpower and just time into this. So we thank you for all of the listens and all of the views that you give us because there's a lot of work behind it.
Yeah.
But we're going to close out this episode.
I think I interrupted you when you're trying to explain, just for the people that are new. This is for the creative.
It's fine. You did interrupt, but it's okay.
You can say it again.
Oh, it's okay. You say it.
All right. It's for the creative.
The creative.
The outside thinker.
The outside thinker.
And the believer.
And the believer.
Or not the believer.
Huh?
Or not the believer.
It's for, if you're not a believer, for the creative, the outside thinker.
It's for all of it.
For all of it.
We're here.
We're here.
Let's do it. You're just going to repeat after everything I say.
Yep.
But we love you guys.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for just the encouragement during the wait as well.
Yeah.
Lots of encouragement and the anticipation. Yeah.
We're going to be coming out with other episodes with other people. On the next episode, we are, fingers crossed, having a guest on here. We want to have a very special guest. Hopefully, we're going to have a very good conversation. But these next couple episodes, you can expect about an hour, 45 minutes, however long it lasts. Try to keep it within that time frame. One, because the equipment won't last past that. But we'll try to keep it between that.
Nobody wants to listen 2 hours.
Yeah, no. Unless you're Joe Rogan. But
yeah,
if you're not, then stay away from that time frame. But we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Until we see you again, see things from a higher view. In a minute since I said that.
You're almost like, did I say it right?
And we'll see you guys soon. Peace out, guys.
Peace out.